So tell me about it.
So, okay, every hour I spend 5 minutes having only happy thoughts, and then I feel a lot better. And but after the 5 minutes, I still have a lot of anxiety provoking thoughts, but sometimes I remember and stop having the thought. But
Okay.
but
Well,
some
that's
but
the whole point.
sometimes, yeah.
You see, that's the whole point about practicing for 5 minutes once an hour
Yeah.
is
Okay.
that that influences the next hours. And so you're beginning to see things, but you're also now starting to be able to catch it and control it. And that's the whole point of getting yourself into a really good state on a
Mhm.
regular basis so that
Yeah.
later during the day, that sati will build up and you can catch yourself doing what you used to do. And then you can congratulate yourself and say, aha, I saw that. And that's
Yeah.
the part that you need to add next is congratulating yourself
Oh,
for
yeah.
being able to change. Gladden the
Yeah.
mind. Okay. Now, one of the things that so many of the Westerners do is they think that they've got to do it all the time. This is back to the issue of all the time, all the time, all the time, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. And so, even a swimmer, even an excellent swimmer, even a Olympic champion swimmer, is not in the water all the time.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're not in the water all the time, and all I'm asking is for 5 minutes of practice, intentional practice. Intentionally, you said that you can get yourself into a good mind state, right?
Mhm.
So whatever you were doing to get yourself into a good mind state, that's available to you whenever you think about it. But normally, whenever people think about it, they say, oh, poor me, I can't do this again, and they start complaining.
Yeah, no, I do that too.
Yeah, I know. I can
Yeah.
see it. And if you can see it, then you can deal with it.
Mhm.
And so that whole idea then of watching when you're complaining. Now, you said you were going to do it every time that you talked.
Mhm.
And you can do that every time that you're writing also. Is this a complaint? Do
Mhm.
I want something?
Mhm.
Okay. That's the whole point is to start waking up.
Yeah, I complain still a lot talking to people also, and catch myself uh but after I've already done it.
Okay. Well, that's the time to stop as soon as you catch yourself.
Yeah.
You're using the word after you've already done it is a kind of complaint.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Instead of catching yourself then and saying, got it, I saw that.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh, I can see it. But what happens with you is it happens with every student. You're just doing it a little bit longer because you haven't caught on that you don't have to do it. But every student, during the waking up process, when they wake up to see what's going on, they immediately don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what needs to be changed. Is that attitude of I don't like what I just saw, and to look at here, I can actually see that stuff now. Because it's not you, it's not who you are. You don't even know who you are, but you're confused about that when you complain and then you see that you're complaining, then you put yourself down, oh, you're a complainer.
Yeah.
But you're not a complainer. You don't even know who you are. But the one thing for sure that you're not is the complaining is not inherent and built in.
Okay.
Okay. In a way, it's kind of like a paint job on a car. All you need to do is, get some touch-up paint and um, fix the scratches. The scratches, etc., are not inherent.
Hmm.
They're not. The things can be fixed when you see it. If you don't see that big scratch on the hood, everybody else will see it, but you don't see it, and so you can't rub it out,
Hmm.
right? So the first thing that we do is congratulate. Aha, I see that. I see that complaint. And then don't complain about the complaining. So the first complaint is whatever it was, and then the second complaint was, oh, I just complained.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so we need to change that attitude slowly, slowly, gladdening the mind. Become pleased that you can see the complaining that you said that you were going to stop.
Um, yeah. So why do a lot of articles say that it's very difficult for people to change or that they can't do it?
What do you mean by an article?
Just, I don't know. I just read in a lot of research that it's difficult for people to change and they don't change when they're
Right. It is.
older.
This is
Yeah.
true. 90% of the people in the world are unfit for the Dhamma.
Oh,
Right. You know why?
why?
Because they think they can't change.
Oh.
And so they don't put in the effort to make the change.
Mm,
And then they write articles complaining about it.
mm,
That in fact, the people who do change, they don't write articles about that. They write articles that are worth reading. That in fact, um, the number of professions that you have in Western society that are all geared around those kind of people. Okay, psychiatrists, psychologists, preachers, doctors, social workers, all of those people would be out of a job if those 90% did change their attitude that they can change.
mm-hmm.
But because they can't change and they're still unhappy and miserable, they seek out help. But they seek out help from people who don't know how to change,
Yeah.
or they don't
Okay.
know how to teach people how to change. Social workers are notoriously miserable people because they deal all day long, not just with their own problems, but the problems of other people, and they can't fix it. So burnout is very, very high among social workers.
Yeah.
All right. But now that we know that, we can recognize, well, which part of the group are you going to be in? The ordinary people or those who are willing to take the effort to
Yeah,
change?
I'm gonna take the effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the right effort is a gladdening effort, not a punishing effort.
Yeah, I still punish. Yeah, I'm not really. I can just tell, because whenever I catch myself, I get a little bit sad or annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of being happy. Wow, I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll start being. I'm gonna start being happy.
Well, this is a good time to start.
Yeah. I'm gonna start now.
All right. Yes. So there's a whole range of technology or words that we can use. for this. But I think that the word complaining is going to be a good word for you to start focusing on, is that
Yeah.
you're going to congratulate yourself for whatever it is that you see rather than complaining about it.
Yeah.
So when you see that the mind is very active, instead of fussing at yourself for it, you can say, aha, I can see that active mind. I can see that monkey mind. Because if you can't see it, you can't do anything about it.
Hmm.
A blind man makes a terrible painter.
But then, like, after I say, okay, I see that monkey mind, then what do I keep saying? I mean, what do I say? Because it's going to keep racing.
All right. The answer to that is the gladdening of the mind. Everything is all right. Everything is fine. I feel safe. I feel secure. I feel comfortable. And you start talking yourself with nourishing thoughts into feeling okay.
Uh-huh.
But you didn't
Okay.
feel okay because the monkey mind was already there. And
Uh-huh.
your natural state of being, no, sorry about that, backtrack. Your normal state of being is a habit that you started when you were a child and you were taught that habit. It's called, in many cases, it's called confirmation bias.
Hmm.
And you have the confirmation bias that the world is crap.
Yeah.
And so your confirmation bias is that, but you are supposed to do something about it. At least you can complain. Okay. At least you can complain about it.
Hmm.
And so when that complaining happens, you can say, I see that. I can put a stop to it. You said that you can do this for 5 minutes once an hour. So let's keep doing that 5 minutes once an hour and stop complaining about the other 55 minutes.
Okay. I don't feel totally safe and secure though. I feel
Well,
very anxious.
I know you do. You know why? Because you
Why?
give yourself a whole lot of thoughts of unsafe and insecure. And so you feel unsafe and
Yeah.
insecure. The reality is, look around your room. The reality is that you are safe and secure. The
But
reality is that there is no, look around, there is no crocodiles on the floor. Do you see any crocodiles?
no, but I mean, even in my own body, I don't feel safe because I don't feel like my body is healthy.
Well, that's because you have unhealthy thoughts. You're worried about the body.
Yeah.
That in fact, you could go so far as to say that the medical profession, their primary clientele is hypochondriacs.
Hmm.
If people felt healthy, we wouldn't need doctors. Medical science would have never progressed to the point that it is if people felt healthy.
Well, I
But
mean,
they
people
don't.
have lots of health problems, but not just hypochondria.
Well, hypochondria means you talk yourself into feeling sick.
Mm. So
Okay,
you
that's a
think sick
confirmation
people have
bias.
talked themselves into being sick?
I think that everybody who is sick talks themselves into being sick. When the body has a disease or an ailment, um, okay, let us say that a child bumps her elbow
Hmm.
and she goes around crying about her bumped elbow.
Hmm.
And then fast forward to a time when she is a professional athlete
Hmm.
and she's done a whole lot of stuff. And so this time she bumps her elbow and it's nothing. That
Yeah.
when we are little children, we are overly sensitive to the body. That in fact, the sensory input for a child is massive. And what we do in our growing up is we stop paying attention to a whole lot of stuff. But then we do continue to pay attention to a few things, much of which is unwholesome. And
Can you?
so, and so we wind up saying, "Oh no, what could be wrong?" Or, "Oh no, you should go to the doctor with that," rather than having the nourishing thoughts, "Oh, everything is okay, everything is fine." So you actually talk yourself into being sick. When you feel um, unsafe and insecure, let's stay with that for a little bit, not rather than sick, but unsafe and insecure. The reality, if you will allow yourself to see the reality right here, right now, with where you are, you're safe. Okay, you are safe. There is no cops breaking down your door. The floor
Yeah,
under your feet is fairly solid.
I might have health problems.
Well, never mind that. Let's stay away from that and talk about feeling safe and secure.
Okay. Well, I mean, I need to feel safe and secure. I need to not have health problems.
You can feel safe and secure and forget about the health problems and feel safe and secure. Look at the fact that from the outside perspective, there is no danger. That the only danger that you've got is coming from the inside.
Hmm.
Okay, and you have been talking yourself into that for a long time. So, right now, we're going to start focusing on the fact that on the outside, there's no dangers.
Hmm.
And allow yourself to feel safe. Talk yourself actually into feeling safe. Never mind my health problems, I feel safe.
Hmm.
Okay, that people actually give themselves a panic attack with the thoughts that they have because they're not having thoughts of, "I feel safe."
Can you hold on? Hold on 1 second.
So, back to what we were talking about is that, in fact, when you have a thought that's triggered by a sensation in the body, instead of worrying about, "Oh, that I'm sick," you can have the thought of, "Oh, I can handle that."
Okay.
That, in fact, you say you're sick, but you look healthy enough. Yeah, you're still alive.
Yeah, no,
You
it's big
you can
worries.
breathe.
Yeah.
That, in fact, when we're full of fear, we don't breathe well, and our then not breathing well then affects our physical well-being. That the mind is the forerunner. Some things you don't have any control over. Real sickness is one of them, but feeling sick, you do have control over. Sometimes people have accidents or debilitating diseases, and sometimes, in fact, everybody eventually gets old, and with old age comes illness. The
Hmm.
question is that can you practice now while you are at least as well as you are, so that you can feel healthy, secure, and happy? Because
Hmm.
when you get old, you're going to get really miserable. In fact, a lot of old people are really, really, really miserable because they were miserable when they were your age, and as they aged, they just got more miserable
Hmm.
when real sickness and real old age set in.
Hmm.
Okay, so when you have the right attitude, you say, "Old age, yeah, I can handle that. I can get old and still be happy. I can have bad knee joints and torso pain, and the arms hurt, and bursitis sets in, and I can handle it."
Hmm.
But you already have the attitude of complaining about it as if it was already too much. And your health is going to get worse, the real health, because you're going to get old. And I'm
Hmm.
not talking about what happens next year. I'm talking about what happens 15 and 20 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if you complain about your health for the next 15 years, you're going to be really sick in 15 years. If you have thoughts of, oh, I can handle it, this is nothing much, then you can be wiser about when you go to the doctor. 90% of the doctor's visits are unnecessary, and the doctors know it. They make a huge profit off of it. They'll give somebody some pill or another. Okay. But when you feel healthy, the reason that you feel healthy is because you've talked yourself into it with the attitude that I'm healthy. But the real issue is the feeling of fear. Because even if you're unhealthy or healthy, the fear will still be there. That in fact, the fear contributes to the unhealthiness. And that you've gotten yourself into the habit of feeling afraid of the body and afraid of the world and afraid of all kinds of possible things that can go wrong that don't go wrong. Every problem that you can think of, whatever happens in the future, is probably different than the thoughts that you were having about it originally. Okay, so now let's do it again. Let's look around the room and recognize that there's nothing there to bother you. You don't have a swarm of bees or a wasp. You don't have a community of spiders. There are no cobras. There are no anacondas. No pythons, right? Can you look around and say, yeah, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
It is true, right? Yeah. Right. So now you can take a deep breath and let yourself say, I feel secure. I feel okay. I feel secure. And you can practice that during that 5 minutes of feeling safe and secure, talking yourself into it, and then letting the feelings move along with it. That's especially true if you're breathing well. Taking a deep breath. And on that out breath, relax. Wow, I do feel safe. Wow, I do feel secure. Wow, I've got no place to go, nothing to do, and everything is okay right now. And if thoughts of sick come up, you can say, oh, I'll be sick later. Right now, I'm going to feel comfortable. I'm going to feel safe and secure. And we talk ourselves into it. This is the gladdening of the mind. This is also what the Buddha talks about in the sense of removing the unwholesome thoughts. The unwholesome thoughts about being sick will result in you being sick. Unwholesome thoughts about things that might happen will result in you having feelings of fear. And then you do those over and over and over again. And now it's time to start waking up to that and then making a change. And the change is to brighten the mind, to gladden the mind. You're just beginning to start to practice in the sense of seeing the stuff. And so now you have to take the effort, the right effort, to change.
Yeah.
So you said that you can stop complaining. So you're in the process now of learning to stop complaining. And the way that we can stop complaining is by changing those complaining thoughts into happy, wholesome, brightening, gladdening thoughts of, oh, never mind, it'll be okay.
Okay.
Never mind that pain. I'm okay. I don't have to go to the doctor for that.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Well, the maybe is now the complaint.
Well, I mean, if I'm in pain, I probably will go to the doctor.
Right. But right now, you're just complaining about being sick and you're not in pain. And not only that, but the body, the whole chemistry of the body is that pain is a signal to pay attention, to look at what's going on.
Yeah.
Basically, to stop what you're doing, it stresses the the doctor may or may not be able to help. That in fact, you're smarter than most doctors. In fact, most people are smarter than most doctors.
I would still go and see if they can help.
Well,
Definitely.
right. But you'd probably be a rich lady if you didn't pay the doctors or the insurance and all of that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Hmm. That there are some medicines that are valuable. The Buddha actually talks about adequate medicine. We do have to have adequate medical attention.
Hmm.
But Westerners mostly have too much medical attention. It's a racket. And the racket is based upon the fact that people are not capable of changing their attitude. They want the doctor to do that for them. Oh, if I go to the doctor and get a pill, because I paid the doctor and got a pill, and he nourished me and says everything's going to be all right, now I can have the thoughts everything is going to be all right. The point that I'm making is you could have the thoughts of everything's going to be all right, and you don't have to go to the doctor to get it. And so that'll cut the doctor's visits down to about half.
Yeah, so you still go to the doctor because
When you
it's
need
not.
it, rather
Yeah.
than when you're afraid.
Mm.
That you can walk into the doctor and with a great big injury and still have a big smile on your face.
Yeah. Well,
The question is most people when they have an injury, when they feel physically in pain, they mix it with fear. Oh no, what's going to happen to me?
hmm
Oh no, this is too bad. Let's say you broke the leg and there you are laying on the ground. Okay, that's a good time for medical attention, but it's not a good time for, oh, poor me, I'll never walk again.
yeah, I run into future scenarios very quickly from everything. So
Hmm.
not just physical pain, but yeah, I'm noticing how much that provokes anxiety and how unnecessary it is. Um, Something I've been saying to myself is you just don't know that's true, and that's been alleviating, temporarily alleviating the anxiety.
Hmm. Right. That whatever you're thinking of may not happen. So why
Yeah,
worry about it?
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
this is part of the complaining, in fact, is that complaint about, oh, poor me, what's going to happen to me in the future because of this?
Mhm,
Rather than having thoughts of the present moment, I can handle this.
mhm.
And then you start gladdening the mind. Wow, I can take care of this, no problem. No worries. I can handle this. And start brightening the mind. Start telling yourself that even there, though you're laying in the street with a broken leg, you're still safe.
Mhm.
Everything will work out just fine.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be all right. But instead, most people will have thoughts of, oh no, this is terrible. All this is going to be terrible. All this is never going to get straightened out. Oh, poor me. And start having pity parties. And you're really excellent at a complaining kind of pity party. And so beginning to catch this, just like you would
Mhm.
catch the scratch on the car, now you can rub out that scratch. If you don't see it, you can't do it. So you're beginning to wake up to this stuff. Congratulate yourself that you can see it and then make a
All right.
change. Or actually, the
Yeah, I gotta
congratulations
do that.
is the change.
Well, because I very quickly start complaining about the complaining, like you said.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah.
So never
Okay.
mind, start again. Go back and have 5 minutes of joy. And in that
Mhm.
5 minutes, keep telling yourself everything's okay, everything is fine, nothing to worry about, no danger, no
Mhm.
pythons, no boogeymen. There are no bears in the closet.
Okay.
And keep having those gladdening, wholesome thoughts.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. And it's going to be a process, but the process always is the same thing that happens in this moment. Never mind, start again. Never mind that I was complaining. I see that. Let's start again into being happy. Let's come back to the breath and take a deep breath and just relax. Over and over and over again. Throw that thought out, bring in a wholesome thought. Oh, everything's going to be okay. Everything's fine. Everything's all right. Everything is fine. No place to go and nothing to do. No boogeymen in the closet. No cops at the door. No debilitating illness has got you by the throat. You're going to be okay. You're going to survive for the next hour or two. If you breathe.
Mhm.
If you don't breathe, you may not survive for the next 5 minutes. And when people are in a panic, they freeze and stop breathing. When you're in a panic attack, you're actually physically closer to death than at any other time. Why? Because you're not breathing well. And here you are with a perfect opportunity when I'm talking about it, and you don't take another breath. Come on, let's practice.
Yeah, I am. I'm
Let me see.
breathing. I'm breathing.
Okay, we'll do a bigger one because that's not much of a breath. I want to see your shoulders rise when you breathe. Now you're breathing too fast. Slow it down. Take a deep, long, slow breath. And in that out breath, let the body relax. And take another deep breath in and then just let it relax. And having thoughts, wow, this feels good. I can just relax. And everything's okay. No place to go. Nothing dangerous right now. And I feel safe and secure. So practice feeling safe and secure. Practice feeling pleased with yourself rather than critical with yourself. You spent so many years being critical, finding this to complain about and that to complain about, and now you're complaining about your health, and your health is fine. Doctor would take a look at you and say, get out of my office if he was a good doctor. But most doctors says, come right in, sit right down. I'm going to do this, that, and the other find a test, and we're going to find out what's going on, and then I'll give you a whole bunch of pills to swallow.
No, a lot of people have a lot of physical sicknesses and
Yeah, they
illnesses.
talk
Doctors are
themselves
very
into it.
helpful.
They talk themselves into it, and the doctors, sure, they're very, very helpful. They're helpful charlatans. And you don't need them, right? Not right now. You're not going to the doctor right now anyway. You're not driving your car on the way to the doctor while you're calling me. You're sitting at home. And so you start thinking about going to the doctor. You don't have to think about going to the doctor right now. You can think about being safe and secure and comfortable, at ease, and continue to practice. Oh, I'm not going to the doctor right now. I'm just going to sit here and feel good. And everything is okay and everything is all right. And I feel safe and secure and comfortable. Allow yourself to feel comfortable. Take a deep breath and just relax. Oh, feel comfortable.
Okay.
This is something that you haven't been doing very much in your life, is relaxing. You have to be on guard, have to be all tensed up, have to be wired, have to be anxiety ridden, have to be in a panic because something might go wrong. And nothing goes wrong. Everything's okay. So is everything okay right now?
Yes, it is right now.
Ah, and now you smile too. Good, good. All right. So start watching your smiles. Can you smile? Can you remember to smile? Can you remember to smile because you've got to smile?
Okay.
And everything's okay. Everything is fine. Can you repeat that? Those little sayings that I keep giving you? Let's hear you say it.
Everything's okay. Everything's fine.
All
Everything's
right.
gonna be fine.
Everything's going to be fine. Everything's all right. Everything's fine.
Everything's all right. Everything's going to be okay.
Hmm. So, you know what to say. Now you have to remember it.
Hmm.
Remember to say that. Everything's all
Okay.
right. Everything is fine.
Okay.
Everything's all right. Everything's okay. Not a problem in the world. Nothing dangerous. Everything is safe.
Okay.
And then you take a deep breath and let yourself feel safe.
Okay.
Can you let yourself feel safe right now?
Yeah.
Can you? Then let's
Maybe.
see you do it.
Okay.
Maybe. All right. We'll do it. Let's take a deep breath and relax and sigh and say, everything's all right. Wow.
Okay. Everything's all right.
All right. I hear you repeating that without believing it.
I know.
But I know you keep practicing though and allow yourself to believe it because what your confirmation bias is that things are not okay. But the
Yeah.
reality of the situation is everything is okay.
Okay.
Just realize that right now. Look around your room and look around at your hands and say, everything's okay
Okay.
right now. Is
Yeah,
it?
everything's okay.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe it, but I can repeat it to myself.
No, you got to actually see that it's real.
Oh, okay, well,
Can you
I
see that
mean,
it's real? That right now everything is okay.
yeah, everything's okay.
All right. So let yourself see the reality of the situation rather than clinging to the old confirmation bias that you learned as a child that things are not okay.
Okay.
And let yourself believe it now. So say it again. Everything's okay. Everything's fine.
Everything's okay. Everything's fine.
All right. Say it and tell me as if you believe it rather than you're doing it only because you were told to say it.
I, uh, everything's okay. Everything's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you? Say it again.
Yes. Everything's
Everything's
okay. Everything's fine.
everything is fine. All right. Well, you keep repeating that and let it sink in.
Okay.
Everything's okay. Everything's all right. No
Everything's
danger.
okay. Everything's all right. No danger.
No dangers. I
No
feel safe
dangers.
and secure.
I feel safe and secure.
All right. Now you're repeating it as you don't believe it. So
I
say it as if
know.
you do believe it.
I don't know what that means. How do you say it like you believe it?
Well, because you can see reality if you'd look instead of seeing it through the filter of the bias that you have that things are not okay and see it as in real. The reality is that everything is okay right now. And you're
Okay.
still not convinced because you won't look.
Right. Okay. Look at what?
Well, look around. Look at your body.
Okay.
Take a
I'm
deep
looking around.
breath. Okay. Do you see any
Uh-huh.
problems?
No, the problems are on the inside of my body, obviously. They're not on the outside.
All right. Well, can you actually recognize then that on the outside that everything is okay because the inside of the mind is not okay? It's been told that everything on the outside is not okay. Start recognizing that everything on the outside is okay, and let's start there. Let's start with
Okay.
the reality of the situation, and everything really is okay right now.
Okay.
Even if you're sick and on your deathbed, everything is still okay.
Okay.
You're going to eventually die.
Mm-hmm.
Can you die with the thought everything's okay? Everything is fine. I'm ready to die and everything's all right.
Yeah, I can die with that thought.
All right. Can you live this moment with that thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. Doesn't matter what's going on the inside. We need to change that inside by looking at the outside and recognize everything's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that's how you got yourself all mussed up in the first place, is because you thought that the dangers were on the outside. Now you brought the dangers on the inside. Let's start looking at where the original dangers came from is not there. That the reality of the situation is that your environment is safe. So start allowing yourself to feel safe in the environment that you're in.
Okay.
Even if you die, it's still okay.
Okay.
But that's in fact the primary point about death. Death is that the they call it the self-preservation mechanism or the self-preservation instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have the reality of the situation, I mean, let's just say that you're in your rabbit hole as a rabbit and you've got a tiger coming into the rabbit hole. Now is danger. This is the real point of danger. How does the
Mm-hmm.
rabbit feel when that danger is there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But when the cougar or the big cat is not digging into the hole, then the rabbit can relax and
But my
rest.
health problem is real danger.
Well, it's not. The real danger is worrying about the health problem. The real danger is that you got yourself feeling like that there's a cougar digging you out of the hole when there's no cougar there. That in fact you can have the thoughts about, well, right now the body's okay. It's not sick right now. And you can feel safe about the body instead of complaining about the body and worrying about the body and worrying it into being sick.
My body's not okay right now.
Your body is okay right now if you give yourself that thought. You keep clinging to the thought that your body's not okay. And you're not calling me from a hospital bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I'll go
You're
too
healthy enough
quickly
to
for a
stay at home
hospital.
and call me on the phone or on the internet. You're
Yeah.
healthy enough to do that. So see how healthy you actually are instead of worrying about how healthy you're not. In fact, you're bringing up this I feel unwell and unhealthy is just another red herring to prevent yourself from feeling joyful.
Mm-hmm.
That being sick is different from thinking sick, and you're thinking sick. And you can set that thought down and say, everything is okay right now. I'm well enough. If I breathe, I'll survive the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Everything's well enough. If I breathe, I'll survive the next 5 minutes.
Mm hmm. Right. Is that true?
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
that
Good.
is true.
It is true. Finally, we've gotten something in there. Let's start working with that. The reality of the situation is that you're well enough to survive the next 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. So feel safe that you're going to survive the next 5 minutes. And all you need to do now is take a deep breath and enjoy the fact that you're still alive. That you're not about to die.
Okay.
And if you were, that would be okay too.
Okay.
Yeah, the world's already overpopulated.
Hmm.
And so it's going to be okay that you die. In fact, you don't even want to live forever. That's called the vampire's dilemma.
Okay.
So you're going to be all right. You're going to
All
be
right.
okay. Can you
All
say
right.
that? Can you say everything's going to be okay?
Everything's
At
going to
least
be okay.
just for right now, everything is fine. And allow
Just for right
yourself to
now.
enjoy that.
Okay.
Can you practice that with a big smile on your face? Like you believe
Yeah.
it. Well, that's a fake smile.
Yeah. I know.
I know. I
You
can
can't
see.
command some. You can't ask someone that and then expect a real smile.
I get it all the time. I got
Okay.
it already from you in this hour.
Okay.
In fact, the little smile that you have right now is much more real than that one that was
Yeah, I
fake.
know. Yeah, I'm aware.
All right. That's the whole point is start nourishing yourself. Everything's going to be all right. Allow
Okay.
yourself to believe that everything is going to be all right for the next 5 minutes, that you're not in danger, that you can find a
No, I
relax.
can believe that it'll be okay for the next 5 minutes, but not the next
Okay.
5 days.
Well, let's not worry about the next 5 days.
Okay.
Let's worry about the next 5 minutes, this 5 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes, we won't worry about this 5 minutes. And then 15 minutes from now, you can take 5 minutes and say, I'm going to survive for the next 5 minutes. 5 days from now, you don't know about. But if you practice 5 minutes at a time in the next 5 days, you're going to feel really great. You
Okay.
don't know what's going to happen in 5 days.
Yeah.
You don't. So let's practice by working on what is real right here, right now. And what's real right here, right now is that you're okay.
Okay.
So practice that. Practice getting into the mood and the feeling that everything's all right. Not a
Okay.
worry in the world.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Hmm.
All right. Okay, well, let's finish this call and you go practice 5 minutes at a time. I'm okay. Everything
Okay.
is all right.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See ya.